Hi everyone, welcome to Data Analytics blog. If this is your first time kindly subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of tutorial that will help you to improve and build your skill in data analytics area. And on today's tutorial, I am excited to show you the new Power BI button slicer which Microsoft just introduced in its latest November 2023 release. So today we are going to be focusing on this slicer, and all you need to do is to download the new Microsoft Power BI desktop in order to be able to exploit this new upgrade. So I'm going to put the link on the video description for you to update your Microsoft or Power BI desktop. So the link will be there. Just click the link and then make sure you download it to be able to use this Power BI or new slicers button slicer. And this new button slicer comes with different options which you can explore or play around with base bay, and you can explore it, you can play around it based on your criteria, based on what you want to do, based on your requirements. You can actually customize this new slicer on your own. So you can see that this new slicer, you can do a lot of things with the new slicer. You can see that as I'm changing, as I'm clicking on it, is actually changing. You can do different thing on the new slicer. So I'm going to be showing us everything on this new slicer. I will be using this new slicer more often in our my video tutorial. So watch out for the other tutorial, and also make sure you upgrade your new or your Power BI desktop for you to be able to use this new slicer. So let's start with today's focus. So now I already uploaded my what's it called? I've already uploaded the data, gotten the data. So it's actually one of the data that I used sometimes ago. So I already got the data. So I'm about to start now and launch this new slicer. So for lest I forget, I did my background, designed this a simple background on in PowerPoint. So you can also check out for that. So now we are going to start this new Power BI or design. Okay, so now the first thing that I'm going to do now is to bring, so I'm using the new Power BI upgrade now. So now the next thing that I'm going to do, I want to bring my, what's it called? That's the background design that I did in PowerPoint. I'm bringing it here. So already reduce the transparency. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I need to quickly, I will just copy and paste most of the things I did there because our focus is mainly on what's it called, on the new slicer. So I'm going to copy and paste this and put it here. I'm going to copy and paste, then paste it there. That's uh, the title of our dashboard. So now I'm going to start with the new dashboard. So this is the data that I'm using. I'm using the, so in this data we is a product data, the car product data. So we have the model for each of these maker and also the year, price, transmission, or whether it's automatic manner, other, or and then mileage, fuel type, quantity, makers, which is part of our main focus. That's the make, and then image, which is what is part of what we are going to be using, and also logo link and image link. So now we start our analysis. So that's all about our data. We start our analysis, and I'm going to be starting with the new, or with our focus for today, which is the new slicer. You can see now that we have the new slicer, and this is the old slicer. Where is it? This is the old slicer that we used before, and this is the new slicer. So I'm going to be focusing on the new slicer. So I'll click on the new slicer now, click on it, and I'm going to be adding, okay, so I'm I'm going to be adding the make. That's the maker, the brand. I'm going to adding it here. So I've added it. Okay, sorry, remove this. So click on the new slicer, then I'm going to be adding it here. So this is the make. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is to format this, where I'm going to be formatting this to make it look exactly the way I have it here. So now I'll format it. Go to format, click on the slicer, then go to format. So now we have different slicer. Now you can see that we have new option here where you can show all. You can actually select all in this new option. So you can easily show, you have a new option where you can select all, which is this. Can select all, deselect all. So I don't need that. So again, what is the other thing that we have here? Okay, before then, let me remove this background so that we'll start. I don't need title. So now the next thing is the shape. You can actually use it as rectangle, rounded shape if you want it rounded. If you want it snip or so, you can actually use it like that. So you can customize the new slicer. So I don't want it, I just want it in rectangular form. So also we have a new layout. This is just the layout. So you can, so in this layout, depending on how you want it to be, you can make your row to be 4, depending on how many, or what's it called, how many data, how many information you have in this particular column that you are using. So you can make your row to be 2 or different. So now I want to make this row to be 1. I want to make it to be 1. Then your column, depending on what you want to do, you can make your column to be 1, or you can make it to be 5, or anything. So I'm making my column to be 5 because I think I have just 5 options here. So again, you can slice it. Oh, you can, sorry, you can actually reduce the size. So that's all about the layout. Then the overflow, you can make it paginated. You see that it's changed, or you leave it continuous scroll. You can make it vertical or horizontal. So you cut in any way that you want it, paginated or continuously. So let's leave it like this. So now again, we have a call out value. Our call out value is actually the names, all these names information. So you can actually work on your call out value. You can customize this. You can do different things there. So now we leave it that way. Again, on the labeling option, you can actually add a new label. We have an option for labeling. So you can add labeling to this, and if you want to add labeling, you can add anything here. So let's assume I want to add revenue, or I want to add quantity here. You can see it now. So that is how our labeling option looks like. So I can actually change it. I can customize it in my way. So you can see now different options that we are having here. So you can customize it to be below, or you want it to be above, depending on what you actually want. Then the spacing, vertical spacing, so you can actually reduce it. You can reduce the space between the label and the value. You can reduce it depending on how you want it. So that's all about call out value here in our new slicer button. And again, the image now, here is where we can add our image. So now I want to add the image now to make it look exactly like this to make it look like this. I want to add image to make it look, to make our new slicer looks like this, which is our main focus. So now I'm going to add, click on this. So I'm going back to the formatting, the image. I'm going to add image. Then I'm going to add this image here. Can you see now? Can you see our new slicer? But this is beautiful, and all thanks to Microsoft or team for doing this, for upgrading all always, and it's beautiful to behold. So now you can actually, what's it called, you can customize it. Now you can feel it normal, it might be normal, or to you want to fit in this way. Fit in, we shrink the image. As you can see, if you fill in, you can see it, that is okay. I actually like the normal because it actually allows this to size in a little way and allows all other values to show. So let's leave it in fit, no, in fill, so that I'm going to show you. So now I'm going to now work on it to size it. So now it's at the top. You can make it to be left or right or bottom, anyhow you want it. So now I want it to be at the left. Let's check it out. Then the size, I want to reduce the size. You can actually reduce the size. Okay, let's make it to be at the top. I think I made it to be top. And then now you reduce the size. Okay, you can't. So now we can actually work on it. So now if I actually want it to be like this, so I need to remove, I don't want to see the value, the labeling. So that's the reason why I actually want us to show the labeling. Can you see now? I don't want to see the value, depending on the kind of data you are working on. So but with this kind of data that I'm working with, I don't want to see the value. There is no point of showing the value because I'm still going to show the value in other area. But if it is other thing that you can add the label in, you can actually add. So now I've customized it. Is at the top. And then what else here? Let's check for that before we are done. Okay, okay. So now for the value call out. So now for the image, for the button, this is all about the button. So you can add this, a border. You can remove the, what's it called, the fill. That's the, so you can add access bar. So I added access bar to mine, makes it pop out. So you can add this and increase the width of your access bar. So again, what else do I need to remove? Okay, there is a, this shaping layout. I think I did something with, there is a particular thing, there was a particular thing that I did, so I need to remove it. So okay, you can see now that our slicer, the new slicer is actually, it comes with a lot of option which you can explore, which you can use to customize your or dashboard. It's actually very fine. So now again, what else can we do here? You can change different setting, but I'm going to be leaving it to default. So in the slicer selection, like I say, you can make it slice, you can select, or where you can be selecting for here, but I don't need that now. Again, what else do we need there? Nothing much. So I think we are done with this particular slicer. So you can just use the data to talk more on it. You can use the data, you can use it to just check and talk more on it. So we can actually add other value. So what other thing do I have here? So revenue by year. Let's start with the revenue, our first visual, which is oh area chart. So I'm going to be adding revenue by year. So revenue and then year. So I'm bringing my year here. So you can see now. So now you can actually format it. I can use the other format here. So I use the other format. So again, what other thing do we have here? You can see now that it's changing. Our slicer is changing as we are clicking on each of the brand. You can see that our slicer is changing. So what other thing? So I did, again, what do I do here? I did a unit sold and then revenue, total revenue and then unit sold. So I use new card for that. So I'm going to be clicking on that, then total revenue, and I'm going to use the format that I use here. I use the format that I use there. So now I have my total revenue here. I have my total revenue. Again, I'm going to copy this and I will use it as unit sold. Okay. So I'm going to remove this and then I will do copy and I'm going to format it here. So because our major focus is on the slicer, so that's why I'm doing formatting here. And you can check my other video on all of this. So I'm going to be changing this to unit sold. So again, I have this slicer here, total mileage, total model, brand revenue, and what other thing, average quantity. So again, I use the new slicer. I use the new card for that. So I'm just going to bring it here, then put it here. So I'm going to add, okay, that's total model, mileage, that's price, and this, and then I'm going to do the formatting. So I did my formatting. So for this model, I'm just going to do count this thing so that it would count our model for us. So I'm just going to change this to average quantity. Average quantity. This will be brand, that's brand market share. Market share, and also this will be total mileage, and this will be total model. So now we are done with this. So make sure that you check it out. So like I said, you can do a lot of things. Just download the new model, the new Power BI desktop, and you can actually start working on it, and make sure that you follow the process. It's very easy to use. It's simple to use. Okay, for our call out value, I think, okay, there's something that needs to show us here before we round it up. Okay, I need to check that. It's something that I need to show us. Okay, let me check. No, not this. So now what I need to show that is actually also come with two tips. You can just switch it on, and you can see that when you overheat, it will be giving us, or what's it called, different, or what's it called, this thing. So now you can see now that as we are checking it, everything is actually changing. You can see this giving us, or what's it called, information for each of these brand, the as that we use as our slicer. So now that we are done with this, I hope you've learned how to make use of this new slicer, and you've learned the options that you can explore while using this, or what's it called, this new button slicer in Power BI. Make sure that you download the Power BI new upgrade, and make sure that you practice this. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please keep subscribing and share. Give me your feedback in this. Bye.